What up, MetaZoo maniacs? So today we're going to look at the top 5 MetaZoo Kickstarter cards, in my opinion anyways. How much they're worth, I don't know, in 2021. The population report now, and what they're selling for now, because this is a crazy dip. The market's completely crashing, and I just want to do a comparison, so if MetaZoo ever does come back to life, we can look back on this video and be like, whoa. So anyways, this is how I find out my stuff. So you just go to Google, type in PSA Pop Report, boom, this will come up. I'm going to show you the steps to get there. It's pretty simple. So once you're here, you search for whatever you want. So we're going to search for MetaZoo. Boom. Then we're going to scroll down. I'm going to go 2021 MetaZoo Crypto Nation. There we go. Then we're going to click on prices. So there's 15,000, almost 16,000 Kickstarter cards from MetaZoo graded. That's insane. Let's go to prices. And make sure there's nothing in your mouth, because you're going to spit out whatever fluids in your mouth or whatever. We're going to scroll down. Look at the values on some of these cards. Whew. I'm not going to go over Uncle Sam, right? Whatever. I don't think anyone really collects the Uncle Sam one too much. But in this video, we're going to go over Mothman, LEL Frogman, PSA Bird, Samson Clair, and the Chaos Crystal. I mean, look at this. Remember that? Kickstarter? And this is on PSA's website. They haven't updated at all. So I think this is from probably near the end of 2021 is what I'm guessing. Because these prices are severely outdated. So take a moment to look at that if you want. But we're going to see this a few more times. So let's start from the bottom. So we're going to look at Chaos Crystal Kickstarter PSA 10. They're saying it's worth around $3,500 plus. Even a Mint 9, even a PSA 8 was worth over $700. So that was probably around 2021, the end of 2021. Let's see how much it's worth in the beginning of 2024. So as of February 11th, 2024, PSA 10 Full Hollow Kickstarter Chaos Crystal sold for $167.50 in auction. That is insane. And then if we go to the PSA Pop Report for Chaos Crystal, there are 156 Kickstarter Chaos Crystals Full Hollow graded, and 100 of them received the PSA 10, 100 on the dot. And pause the video if you want to see all the other Chaos Crystal stats here. I mean, if you look at the reverse hollow for Kickstarter, there's only 31 PSA 10s, but those are worth, I think I bought one for around $46 or $52 or something as a PSA 10 already. That's insane. The reverse hollow Kickstarter Chaos Crystal PSA 10 was valued at over $1,000. I literally bought one not long ago for around $50. So yeah, $3,500 all the way down to $167. So next, we're going to look at Samson Clair. Only comes as a full hollow. It's part of the Obnoxious 9. Kickstarter PSA 10 was selling for about $2,000. Let's see how much it's selling now. As of February 11th, 2024, it sold for $113.50. That is absolutely insane for Samson Clair Kickstarter PSA 10. Okay, so let's check out the PSA 10 population reports. So for Kickstarter, there's 138 graded, 84 of them are PSA 10. And you can see the other stats. I mean, second edition's got a few graded. And first edition, there's 321 first edition Samson Clairs as a PSA 10. Next, we're going to take a look at PSA Bird Full Hollow Kickstarter PSA 10. Was selling for about $1,300 at one point. That is insane. Even a PSA 8 was selling for over $300 for Kickstarter. I mean, anyone watching this video, if you're new to MetaZoo, you're probably like, what? But anyone that's been in MetaZoo since 2021 knows that these prices were real. Like, these were untouchable cards. Most of us, including myself, I never thought I'd have better than first edition cards as PSA 10s. Kickstarter was not even on my radar. I was like, yeah, I'm never going to afford that. But now I have them all. So PSA Bird, PSA 10, Kickstarter Full Hollow, $1,300. See how much it's worth in 2024. Oh, So most recent auction, PSA 10 full hollow Kickstarter PSA Bird, down to $86. I know other ones are selling around the 120 area, but I mean, that's what I'm saying, buy the dip. I mean, now's the time to buy. If you love collecting these cards and always wanted to have these cards in your collection, now is the time to buy. This is insane. $86 is a little cheaper than what it normally would sell for. It's around maybe like 120 normally. But still, it did sell in auction for $86. Someone got very lucky. And the PSA 10 pop report for PSA Bird. There was 122 graded so far, and 73 have graded a PSA 10 for the full hollow Kickstarter PSA 10 PSA Bird. And if you're looking for first edition, there's 227 PSA 10s out of 304 graded. Next, we're going to go over LEL Frogman full hollow Kickstarter PSA 10. We're selling for over $2,000. Even over $400 is a PSA 8. Reverse hollow is doing pretty well as well, up to $500 for a reverse hollow PSA 10. I literally bought one of these as a PSA 10 reverse hollow Kickstarter LEL Frogman for $46. So, maybe 3 months ago. But anyways, let's focus on the full hollow. It was selling for $2,000 just over 2 years ago. And now, full hollow Kickstarter LEL Frogman PSA 10 sold in auction on February 11, 2024 for $171.38. It's the time to buy, right? I know everyone's like, oh, MetaZoo's dead, this and that. Shh, if you're a collector, I can't say it enough. This is the time to buy. Because as we all know, MetaZoo, what's the worst thing that could happen? It's either going to go bankrupt or it's going to get bought by someone else. And even if it goes bankrupt, eventually it's going to get scooped up by someone else. It's just a transition period is going to take a long time. And it's going to happen. Something good's going to happen for MetaZoo. It's just going to take a while. But hey, buy the dip. Buy the crash. Because the market is completely crashing. And if you're a collector like me, it's amazing. And for the PSA 10 population, LEL Frogman full hollow Kickstarter, 128 sent in, and there's 75 that graded as a PSA 10. And for the first edition, 370 of them were sent in, and 219 are PSA 10s for the LEL Frogman full hollow first edition. Next, we're gonna do, well, you're gonna see both of them, I guess. We'll kind of do it at the same time, but Mothman hollow, full hollow first edition, so not Kickstarter, was going for over $1,500. Now, Nick Strength of Pokemon said he did sell one for around $2,000 at one point, and this just proves it. 2 years ago, it was selling for over $1,500. That's insane for a first edition, not Kickstarter, PSA 10. Let's see how much it's selling for now. Now in auction, it's selling for $82. That's crazy. It used to be selling for over $1,500. That is bananas, and that's as of February 7th, 2024. And for the first edition full hollow Mothman PSA 10, there's 994 of these as a PSA 10 out of 1,374 graded. So I think that, well, I mean, everything's crashing obviously, but I mean, there's almost 1,000 copies of the first edition full hollow Mothman that are in PSA 10 condition. Not to mention all the Beckett's and the CGCs and whatever else, right? Just from PSA alone, there's 994 PSA 10s that exist, which is insane. And we're going to get to the Kickstarter one next, where there's 125 PSA 10s for the full hollow Kickstarter. So now we're to the point in the video we all want it to be at. Full hollow Kickstarter Mothman PSA 10, $8,000. Remember when the box was selling for $10,000 for a Kickstarter booster box? PSA 10 full hollow Kickstarter Mothman, $8,000. Shoot, even as a PSA 8, it was selling for $1,000. So just over 2 years ago, $8,000 for a full hollow PSA 10 Kickstarter Mothman. Now in 2024, that same card that was selling for $8,000 is now selling for $670. So this was on February 7th, but I just want to point this out. The next day on February 8th, there was one that sold for $782. And of course these prices are going to fluctuate, right? I mean, but still, I mean, it's under $1,000 now, which is crazy. I actually didn't think it was ever going to dip below 1,000, never mind, you know, below 800, below 700. So this is the time to buy the dip. And let's check it out one more time, right at the bottom here. Full Hollow Kickstarter Mothman PSA 10. 125 copies exist. Second edition has 205 PSA 10s. First edition, 994. That's pretty crazy. Even the reverse hollow for first edition has 434 copies of PSA 10. And you'd think this would be worth a little more. I think it's selling for around $250. But the reverse hollow Kickstarter Mothman is only 34 PSA 10s out of 158. I can't even believe PSA is this outdated right now on their website. Anyone that was around 2 years ago, you know exactly how true these prices were and how unattainable Kickstarter cards were. I mean, I bet you most people listening were like, yeah, I never thought I'd own a Kickstarter card. Never mind a Mothman or LEL Frogman or any of the top 5 cards in the set as PSA 10s, which I'm happy to say I own all of them. Plus Power Up Red and who knows how many other ones. So, yeah. Anyways, comment below, let me know what you think, and we'll see you in the next video.